I appreciate everyone that came out. I don't know, you would think that it'd be terrifying, you know, to get up in front of all these people and play when you have no idea what you're going to play from one moment to the next, you know, and I have no idea how it's going to work out. For me, for whatever reason, and I can't really figure out why, it's not that way at all. In fact, with electric guitar playing live in front of people, I think it has to do with probably that you concentrate so very much, you know, that you're not really even there, you know, because you have to concentrate, especially when you're improvising like that, because you have to think on your feet. You've got to think very quickly, you know, from one note to the next, and you have to react to what you're hearing, you know, to find complementary parts that fit together. And in fact, I do recall very often that I would play and get through a solo or something like that, you know, doing the improvising thing, and that when I finally was done with it, done playing the solo, then going back to the part is unfortunately, I don't know, it's almost like I wasn't there. And then when I came back, I can't remember what key the song was in. That's happened to me a couple times, really. It's very interesting. And I think it's not like you're, you know, daydreaming or something like that. But it's very much that the music kind of carries you and takes you away, and that is your sole focus. It really is. It's your sole focus, and you're listening very intently the different parts of it. And so when you put that together, I think it's almost like a runner's second wind, perhaps. You know, something like that. You know, there are moments where you're just not even there, and you're just going with it, and it's fantastic. It's just the best feeling, and it's almost like no effort at all as far as the sound, because at that point you're hearing what you want to hear, and you can play what you think will sound good without even working at it. And there are certainly very much moments like that within a composition, especially when playing, especially a long one, where you seem like you're not even there. And then there are also moments where you really have to work at it too, you know, and especially when it's not coming together. And that's a real bummer. would play like 3-4 hours nonstop. It really got to the point where by the end of the show, my fingers really did ache. It's quite abusive, really. I think now, had I to do it over again, maybe I would have played not quite so long. Because by the time you set up, play for 3 or 4 hours, and I'm thinking when you're doing this looping stuff and it's all improvised, you really have to concentrate, so it's really intense. It's almost like, the equivalent of taking a test or something like that for 3 or 4 hours straight with no break. I think that it's made me definitely a much, much better player and made me progress at a really quick rate. I'm glad that the shows weren't every night. I'll tell you that. I think I would really probably damage my hand, especially my fretting hand. Constantly moving his fingers, for 3 or 4 hours straight, and especially if your hand is aching by the end of it. And what I mean by that is not a painful ache in your hand at all, but I think it's just the muscles eventually get tired. They really do. I remember a show. It was probably I think at Borders. It was the same kind of thing. I'd been playing for 3 or 4 hours, and at the very end, this guy, he asked me, play something fast. Play something, like a rock song really fast. And I'll tell you, I tried, I did it, as best I could. But I also thought, really, by that time, I don't know if my hand can do it anymore, So really, I don't know. I think it's made me a better player, but at the same time, I'm glad that I was at least a little careful, to warm up ahead of time. That's the thing. If you warm up ahead of time, you can play those kinds of long shows, without damaging your hand, your fretting hand especially. For me, the picking hand was never a problem. It's just, it's a much smaller motion. But I'll tell you, when you're stretching, from one note to another, 5 to 10 frets, it's really pretty difficult, pretty complicated, and it's very stressful on your hand as well. There were several shows like that, and in hindsight, I think it's probably not very reasonable to play, for 3 or 4 hours straight. And the other thing is, I think, is really you have to give your ears a break too. And I think from a musical standpoint, I'd have compositions that, that were improvised, and to me, they sounded, really like the complete composition, could be anywhere from 20 minutes to a half hour or something like that, you see. And so I wouldn't stop until it sounded complete to me, and I'd taken it as far as it would go, really. And that's the interesting thing too, is when you're improvising like that. Not only within the song, but the song itself. The improvised part of it can last, like I said, 20, 30 minutes, and you really take an idea and build on it and build on it and build on it as far as you can go with it. It's pretty interesting, and I really like it. I do think that playing those long shows certainly, I tell you, did help me in a lot of ways in the fact that